We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như á liêu sanh thoát tư ly khu đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đàn Thọ Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hư Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Thác Đát Tha Tô Già Đà Già La Ha Đề Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, great Master Tutor, great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good new advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、智者、大士、师父、上人，各位出家人，各位善知识，弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa trí giả đại sư và thượng tiên hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone. Today is the 14th of 2024 of September 2024. We're here at Wei Mountain Temple to continue discussing the Vimalakirti Sutra. We at the section that describes the virtues or qualities of bodhisattvas. There were 32,000 bodhisattvas in attendance, meaning it's a lot of bodhisattvas. I can't imagine how big of a hall would take to contain 32,000 bodhisattvas. And the Buddha spoke Dharma without any microphone. Interesting tidbit of information, huh? What Buddhists have to do. Okay, we're on slide 112, and thank you all for joining us. We discussed the 5 coverings last time. The 5 coverings are the kinds of things that will prevent you from doing good things. They are, as a reminder, greed and love, greed and desire. Number 2, anger and hatred. Number 3, sloth and torpor. Number 4, restlessness. Number 5, doubt. Do we have any questions about this? No? Okay, and then move on to the bodhisattvas having transcended all coverings and fetters. Fetters are the afflictions that bind by definition. Okay, so these are the kinds of afflictions, internal afflictions. Afflictions are internal. If you have these afflictions, they bind. What does it mean to bind? The floor is still safe. Okay, coverings. That's the concept of coverings and fetters. Covering is that you cannot see. They cover up, therefore you cannot see clearly, therefore you cannot do, you don't allow the goodness inside of you to arise. It's very, very private thing. It covers up your good nature. All right? What about did we lose anything? What about 10 fetters? What happened to? We talked about wisdom already, right? Okay, sorry. So what about the 10 fetters? Inside, if you're covered up, you cannot see. Therefore, you can't let the goodness, your good nature, manifest itself. Okay, this is so Mahayana. Okay, we look inside ourselves. We learn about the internal workings of our real nature. All right? So these are the secrets, the insights as to why we are that way, if you will. Okay? We don't blame others. Look at ourselves. We are unable to do good because we have 5 coverings. And now, next thing that we have the 10 fetters, meaning that we have a certain affliction that bind us. What does it mean, binding? What do you think? Young man, binding? Not interested. See? There's a covering somewhere. Okay, what about binding? What does it mean? It's so fundamental to cultivation, folks. I know you guys, Vietnam people, Chinese people, Korean people, they come to us because they love the 42 hands and eyes and so forth. And you're going to decide the 42 hands and eyes all you want until the next 100 kalpas. If you still allow the 10 fetters to exist inside of you, you'll never make it to be near God. I mean near Buddha, sorry. Have you thought about it? The Christians like to think they want to go near God. Okay? Us, we like to go near Buddhas. Guess where we pick it up from? We pick it up from the Catholics. We copy them. You know, they in love with God, so now we're in love with Buddhas. They want to be near God, we want to be like Buddhas. Close enough. Okay? So, what is it that binds? To bind means you can't let go. And this is what happens. This is not spelled out. Oh yeah, there you go, drop it. See, he's not bound. Thank you. See that? Clear demonstration. He said, no damn Kleenex box gonna bind me. I think that's what he means. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. I have a question in regards to number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Is it to say no shame, or would it be shame would be an affliction and remorse would be an affliction?
Okay, we get to that. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. I didn't think of it. Give me time can I have a little bit of time to think about this? These questions are original, which require original answers, because it's not asked before. Haven't been asked before. Yeah, all right. So, it's important for you to understand that there's certain types of affliction will bind you. To bind meaning that you bound. What does it mean? You bound by the vows that you took when you stood there in front of the preacher. For richer and for poorer. In sickness, it's in health. For Buddha and for God. Yeah? So, we bound by our vows, supposedly. Yeah? Okay? But this is even worse. Vows can be broken, but this cannot be broken. These afflictions really bind us. So you can vow, I swear, I vow to be near God, I vow to go Pure Land, I vow to be near Buddhas. But if you don't resolve these types of afflictions, you cannot make it. How's that? No one told you that? Oh, oops, maybe I shouldn't have. Yeah. See, somebody's happy. There seems to be some sort of affliction that bind. Okay, so to bind means that you cannot let go. You meditate in order to let go. This morning, someone said, when someone offends me, I will learn to make excuses to forgive her, forgive him. Okay? It doesn't sound like letting go, does it? It sounds like making excuses so that you build more resentment, as that's what happened to older women, I notice. The older they get, they talk about the husband, the more they're resentful of the husband. You see what I did? I had to put up with him all these years. And this is what happened to house husbands nowadays. In 30 years, this is what the house husband will be saying. You see what I did for her? Okay? And so that's what happens. You nurture these afflictions that build resentment, therefore you bound, you cannot let go. Okay? And next lifetime, the resentful woman will become a man and then make that ex-husband who now is a woman suffer, which is to trade places. Okay? So that's why you bound to each other. That's one way to be bound, not out of love, but out of resentment. Yeah? Anyway, I talk about something more pleasant. Okay, so if you have these types of afflictions, you cannot let go, which is detrimental to your cultivation. Cultivation is learning to let go. Okay, and if you have this affliction, you cannot let go. Okay, so what are these types of afflictions? Number 1. No shame. Number 2, no remorse. They usually come in pairs. 无惭, 无愧. Okay? I let the Chinese-speaking people explain. Go ahead, Chinese-speaking person. Okay, give her a chance to look it up. Yeah, 无惭无愧. That's what I thought I pronounced it. You know. Yeah, go ahead, speak up.
无惭无愧, no shame.
Isn't that what I just said?
Yeah. What needs to be explained?
What does it mean? What is it?
What does it
惭
mean?
无愧. And this is what the old monks would like to talk about their disciples. You know, he's really 无惭无愧. He's really 无惭无愧.
So, 惭 means, as it says, 惭 means shame.
Very good. Excellent. Go on. And no remorse means no remorse.
No remorse, don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad. Okay.
They don't feel they did anything wrong.
Okay. That's typical of these people who have no 惭无愧. Let Master do everything. Don't worry, Master will explain. No need to look it up. Anyone else? What's a 无惭无愧? What does it mean? I've been talking about this and giving you plenty of time, and all you do is sit there. Okay, let's see what he has to say. Yes, Chinese, half Chinese speaking people. At 7.
Emitofuo, Master. I really could make it from the Chinese, but the English help, I guess, shame. So it's for myself. I have to feel shameful, so that's the chant. And then kui, I don't really know the English remorse, but kui, I guess, is for the other person. So whether I feel bad that I did something bad to the other person, and I feel regretful about it or not. Thank you.
Can I paraphrase you? You saying that no shame is I feel bad. Number 2, no remorse meaning it's the other person's fault.
No, Master. Whether I feel bad that I offended the other person and trying to maybe correct that or not to do that.
Sounds like the same thing to me, honey.
It's my responsibility toward the other party. That's the remorse part. The shame is my own emotional feeling that I am supposed to feel bad.
It sounds like it's all his fault. Okay, anyone else? In the back.
Master, I just have a question. Is number 5 and number 2, no remorse and regret, are they the same?
Are they the same? Apparently not. If this one is 2 and 1 is 5. You understand? 1 is 2 and 1 is 5.
Master, what is the difference between the two?
I'm asking you, and you're asking me back? Anyone else? You all have plenty of time to look it up already. No excuses. Come on, Chun. She's not even doing anything. You say, Go ahead, speak.
Hello. So one explanation I found, I'm not sure if it makes sense, is just Chan is you feel ashamed inside yourself. You have a heart of mind of being ashamed. And then Kui is once you reveal your own evil deeds to the world, you feel ashamed. So yeah, there's a self and other. So one is ashamed of self, one is being ashamed for others to know about it.
So what you're saying is that you feel ashamed for yourself, then you feel shame for others.
No, it's you feel ashamed because others know about your evil deeds.
Because others would know about it. Okay, Catholic. What is your Catholic version of this Buddhist advanced concept?
It's not a Catholic version, it's my own version. But for me, no shame means I don't care. No remorse means I really don't care. And regret for me.
I don't care, I really don't care. And this guy is so emphatic. I don't care, and I really don't care, you hear?
And regret for me is like saying, I regret that I didn't ate my burger yesterday when I could have it today. So it's like regret. It's something that
It's no longer fresh.
It's something that is inside you that you don't want to let go. So regret is more deeper inside you than the other two. That's how I see it.
Deeper, yeah, very profound. Anyone else? That's it? Okay. Yes, sir, 3.
Thank you. I think no shame means that you have no self-restraint, nothing stopping you from taking any action that you want to take. And then no remorse means that you don't care about the harm that you've caused to others.
Sounds is the same thing to me.
Like
JMT. See how important it is, these concepts.
Vô tàm mới là mình cái thói quen của cái tâm chúng sanh chúng ta, từ đứa con nít cho đến những người lớn, người già. Chúng ta làm những cái chuyện này lén lút hoặc là công khai, chúng ta không biết xấu hổ. Coi như nó rất là tự nhiên, mình làm mình không xấu hổ. Hoặc là biết nhưng mà vì cái cá nhân mình vẫn làm. Không biết vậy là xấu hổ, không có biết dừng lại. Đó là cái đặc tính thứ nhất. Thì bằng chứng là con thấy có có đứa con hồi đó nó 3 tuổi, đứa 3 tuổi, đứa 2 tuổi. Thì cho đứa một phần ăn, một phần bánh nó ăn rồi. Thì cái đứa lớn nó ăn hết rồi. Nó chạy theo nó xin cái đứa nhỏ 2 tuổi, đứa nhỏ 2 tuổi không cho. Thì cái đứa lớn nó hạ thấp xuống, nó đợi con đứng con nhìn, con thấy xấu hổ luôn á. Nó xin một cái bánh của đứa kia. Nó xin bằng mọi giá, nó xuống thật thấp xuống, nó theo nó nịnh, nó xin để được cái con nhỏ kia cho nó bánh. Thì cái đó là cái đặc tính là vô tàm, không biết xấu hổ. Người lớn mình cũng vậy. Mình làm những việc này, việc kia, mình không biết xấu hổ. Đó là đặc tính cái tâm xấu của chúng sanh chúng ta. Còn vô quý, tức là mình làm mà mình không biết hối hận, nghĩ đó là đúng. Làm bằng mọi giá mà không biết hối hận. Đó là hai cái đặc tính mà xấu của cái tâm chúng sanh chúng ta. Xin hết.
Emitofuo, no shame is just like the habit of our mind, of living beings. We, even the little kids, all the way to older adult, whether we did it out in public or we hide it, we have no shame whatsoever just because of our personal advantage. We did it and we don't feel ashamed of ourselves. We don't stop it. That is the first characteristic of Wutan, the no shame. And I have an example. I have 2 kids. There's a 2 years old and a 3 years old. So I gave both of them the equal share of the piece of cake. And the older kid ate it all, and then he ran after the 2 years old to ask for the other piece, and he lowered himself, and I saw it very shameful, but he lowered himself to ask for the piece of cake like that. That is no shame. Is that we ourselves do evil things that we don't feel ashamed of ourselves. And no remorse is like you don't feel regret of the thing that you did, and you do it. You try everything you can just to get it by all means. And that is the second characteristic of our mind.
Okay. Anyone else? Very good. Come on, Chinese person at JMT. She must have looked it up already. Let's go ahead, JMT. You know, the Chinese have their own dictionaries.
인터넷을 검색해 봤는데
Korean too.
인터넷을 검색해 봤는데 괴라는 게 안 켜졌어요? 안 들어가요? 괴라는 거는 개정해에 세 개의 덕이 있음을 말하는데 목에는 이 개정해에 덕이 없다는 것을 말하고 무참이라는 것은 참회가 없다는 거라고 이렇게 말해서 개정해에 그 세 개의 덕이 없음을 부끄러워하지 않는다는 것이라는 의미인 것 같습니다.
I look up the internet, and then no remorse means there's no virtue of precept, samadhi, and wisdom. And then no shame is no repentance.
Okay. Very good. What about the Chinese person behind her?
한국 사람은 어떻습니까?
She's been looking, but she's not sure. It's Chinese information is not that clear.
I don't know how to.
Come on, you Korean people, you also should have your own Korean materials too. Look it up, look it up. Yeah, go ahead, Chinese person.
But it's all in Chinese. I don't know how to translate to.
You don't have Chat GPT?
It's very difficult to translate, I feel.
Try the Chat 4.0. It might. I found it to be pretty good sometimes. So she doesn't understand. She can't explain it in English, but she claims she has the answer in Chinois.
So do I continue? No.
Try, give your best in English. What do you understand? In Chinese, you can explain in simple terms in English. See, she doesn't understand her Chinese. Anyone else? You give up? Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. There are some offerings here. Spook Waters says, shame equals embarrassed, remorse equals regretful. I think you can feel regretful but not be embarrassed.
Okay.
And Diego says, Emitofuo, Master, no shame is when they do what they want and don't care what others think about them. No remorse, you don't care what you did because you don't see anything bad in it. No regret means that you would do it again.
Do it again. Yeah, do it again, Sam. DTT.
마스터, 이 무참무게라는 부분은 대비참에서 나오는 부분이에요. 참회하거나 부끄러워하지 않는다. 대비참에 나오는 구절이고요. 우선 먼저.
Master, this no shame, no remorse, it's in the great compassion repentance.
True.
네, 그리고 이것에 대해서 산호세의 어떤 그 제 도반이 설명을 해줬는데 뭐라고 설명을 했냐면 잘못된 것을 개인적인 양심에서 알고는 있지만 자존심 때문에 그것을 인정하지 않고 부인한다, 디나이얼한다 이런 코멘트가 산호세 도반이 얘기해줬었습니다.
So my co-cultivator in San Jose explained it about it. We know that it's wrong, but we deny it, we do not admit it.
Which co-cultivator in San Jose?
그분이 자기 이름을 밝히기를 원하는지 몰라서 되게 산호세에서 제일 예쁜 분이 산호세가 아니라 지구에서 가장 예쁜 분인 것 같아요. 제 기준에서는.
I'm not sure she wants to reveal her name.
Okay.
I think she's the most beautiful lady in the earth.
Okay. Is she Chinese? You don't have to tell the name, but tell the national ethnicity.
마스터,
Yeah?
저는 그분을
Or
보호하고
is she
싶습니다.
Vietnam?
Master, I want to protect her.
Okay. Anyone else? 7.
Hello, Master. I just would like to ask a question in context of this thing together. So we're talking about number 1 and 2, Chan Kui, like she said, Wu Chan Wu Kui in the repentance. Now, my question is, we always say Chan Hui when we do repentance. So Chan Hui, that's from number 5, regret. So how are they like related together? Because when we say we do repentance, it's actually number 5. We Hui, that's the Chinese word in that.
Okay.
So I mean, how is like working together?
Okay, very good. Okay, I get I get there. Yes, go for it. I'm so disappointed.
Hi, Master. There's 2 sutras mentioned this concept that we found. One is the Great Nirvana Sutra. One is the Sutra on Abhidhamma. So the Great Nirvana Sutra says, make a difference between Chan and Kui. So Chan 者自不作罪, Kui 者不叫他做. So the first one, Chan, is you don't conduct evil deeds yourself. Kui is you don't teach others to do evil deeds. And then the second layer is that the Chan, the first one is you feel ashamed inside yourself. And then Kui is you reveal your evil deeds towards to others. And then the third one is 禅者愧修人，慧者修天. So 禅者 you I don't know how to translate that properly, but you bring shame to people, and 愧 is you bring shame to the heavens. That's roughly this.
Okay, very good. Good Chinese resources. Okay. It's very important for you to look at the position of Wu Chan, Wu Kui, no shame, no remorse. The first 2 types of affliction that bind us. That's how dangerous it is. That's how pervasive it is. How commonplace it is. For example, the boy here right next to me, would you say he has no shame, no remorse, or not? I know he doesn't bother you. It's like you know, it's like you look at him make all sorts of stupidity as if he's not there. Okay, so in your opinion, see, he ignores me completely. He put my mouse into my teacup. It's no longer working. So, does he have any shame, any remorse? None, clearly, right? He's running away. He knows it. He says, "I'm cute. You will make me suffer." Okay. Luckily for me, I still have my finger. So here's an example: no shame, no remorse. It's very important for you to see these 10 types of fetters that are deceptively harmful to you. If you nurture these 10 types of fetters, you are doing yourself disservice. How about that? Buddha says you better pay attention, because if you ignore these type of 10 fetters, your cultivation, you will struggle a lot in your cultivation. And I'm not sure you want me to go into it, because, it's internal. Who cares? Who's going to know? Right? So, what? No one's going to know, even if you work on these 10 fetters, and you can't brag about it. Do you go around and say, I have no fetters? Look, I have no fetters. I have no shame, no remorse. Look at him. He looks the same to me. No shame, no remorse. A shame, remorse is the same to him. Okay. So, no shame is that you know it's wrong, but you shamelessly do it, pretend that you don't know, pretending that you don't know. You have no shame whatsoever. You know, inside you know it's wrong, but you still do it pretending that you didn't know. Anyone has that problem? Okay, so Apple has that problem. Anyone else? Oh, you raise your hand. It's not a confession. It's a question.
Question, Master. So,
Yes.
So, for example, me, I know eating meat is bad. I can't have, I still eat.
I know that.
So, is that the example number one, no shame?
No shame is that you clearly know it's wrong. Deep in your heart, you know it's wrong. Okay? But you still do it.
So it applies for the case of meat eating, right?
So you basically know it's wrong, but you still do it because you suppress the internal conflict. You know what I mean? It's wrong. I shouldn't steal. I shouldn't lie, but you do it. And the only way you can do it is by having no shame. If you know it's wrong, okay, most people, they say, okay, I shouldn't do it. But these people, they know clearly it's wrong, they do it. And the only way they can do it is because they have no shame internally. These people are extremely dangerous. You can't teach them. You teach them right and wrong. They say they clearly know it's wrong, but they still do it because they have no shame whatsoever. They cannot learn the truth. And that's very, very dangerous of a person. Yes, 8.
Master, how about salespeople? They have to lie. They know it's wrong, but for a living, they have to lie.
They have no shame while they're working as a salesman. Hopefully, they don't take it home with them, but most of them do because they have no shame. They find excuses to do it, okay? While knowing clearly that's wrong, and they still are able to convince themselves it's okay to do it. They don't feel bad at all when they do something wrong. That is terrifying. Such a person, they're very dangerous. You cannot trust them. Mm-mm. Yes, one.
Master, is this related to the conscience? Like somebody could say, the world, well, somebody owes me, or the world owes me, so then I'm justified.
Like orange face. It's a prime example of a person who has no shame. Or his cronies, they spread these things, and they spread these lies and these things, and the only way for you to be able to do that is you have no shame at all. Because let me tell you, your Buddha nature is such that when you do something wrong, the Buddha nature says, no, don't do this, you're better than this. But they, in order for you to have no shame, okay, they can suppress that inner voice. They have to be able to suppress the inner voice. I see that some of you down here are Republican and you are disgusted with my attack. No, it's a fact. If you have someone who has no shame, you see the behaviors of politicians. Many politicians have no shame whatsoever. Not just orange men, but so many politicians are like that. But Orange Man is the most famous one. He's the first one, okay? His claim to fame is actually based on the lack of shame. It's amazing to me. Yes, too.
Thank you, Master. So you're referring to this suppression. Is this suppression coming from your ego or just the...
Yes, absolutely. It comes from the evil side of your ego. That the only way for you to be able to live every day and continue to do it is because your ego says, I'm going to ignore it, me. Only I matter, no one else. No God, no Buddha, no one else. That's why they are extremely harmful to us. Okay? They will never hesitate to harm others just because they want to. That's the only reason they need. Yes, 5.
Emitofuo, Master, I want to repentance that I still, when I see plants like succulents, I just steal a little piece so I can grow it at home.
You what? Succulents?
Yes.
What are succulents?
Plants, I steal it from when I see it on other houses.
Uh-huh.
And I just steal a little piece and then I just grow it at home.
Oh, I do it all the time. The succulents. Sorry. But I feel ashamed every time I do it.
Me too. I don't have the money to buy.
Not. Okay? The no shame here is very critical, folks. I'm reminding you, your Buddha nature is very judgmental. It knows right and wrong. So the no shame is that you basically let the evil side of you prevail over the good side of you, which is the Buddha nature. That's why it's extremely, extremely harmful to everyone else. You're hurting everyone else. Because the evil side of you is prepared to kill, to harm others. Yes, 5, 7.
Emitofuo, Master, I have an issue. So
You have an issue?
Not related to temple. I'm not sure if it's true, but this happened yesterday evening. So I think looking out of the window, I saw like an older man carrying things and went into the parking lot where the flower was. I believe he picked up something. I don't know what it was. And then he left. And then after that, there was a parent with a kid. And then the kid went out and also then went into where Venerable Sendong planted her flower. The kid also went in there and picked up something. And I guess...
Probably succulents.
I guess on their description, maybe no shame, but on my end, I got really afflicted. So I don't know what you do with that, Master.
Uh-huh.
I was like, how could you, and you temple thing, you come inside temple and you get things, big trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with that, my afflicted Master thing.
I don't know either. Yes, in the back.
Master, I think, yes, I have one bad thing that I did. I think a lot of people, especially male, did it too. We watch porn. Is that and knowing that it was wrong, but I think somehow we did it.
Do you feel ashamed? Don't go there.
I do sometimes.
I don't want to hear all the names here. The we here is Daniel. Was it with Daniel?
No.
Okay, so you feel ashamed now?
That arise in my mind when it was said that you do it something that you hide from other people. I don't think that we watch it with each other, but then it's just like a personal things that we don't want people to know.
The point here, then the shame is that internal. It's internal. You know it's wrong, but you decide to overlook it. And the only way for you to be able to do that is let your evil side prevail over the good side. You are bound to evil. You see why it is so dangerous? These people are extremely dangerous because all they do is to harm others, including the ones who are close to them. That's why the no shame is extremely dangerous. You're bound to evil. You do evil, that's what you do. Okay, number 2, no remorse. Okay, number 1, no shame, meaning that every time you do something wrong, so every time you are more connected with the evil side of you. You're bound to evil. You will become a demon. Just go forth. You are a demon and you will become a better demon, a bigger demon.
Hello, Master.
Confess.
It's actually a question. The way I understand the shame here is more like it's more about your mind and the motive behind your action. To me, I don't think it's more heavily on the action. Because let's say a person A has the same action like the person B, but the motive behind of a person A is totally different.
It's not a motive. It's about you have no shame, meaning that you clearly know it's wrong. You know it's wrong, and not like you stupid, you don't know. Like the kid there, he doesn't know. That's why he has no shame. That's correct. Because but it's a different kind of situation, because he's not mature enough to understand right and wrong yet. But we as adults, we get to the point where we clearly know right from wrong, and yet the fact is that internally we know it's wrong, okay, but we ignore it. We overlook it. And that's what is meant by no shame.
So it's more about the shame where you can see straight in your mind, right?
Yeah, internally you know it's wrong, but you suppress that. I explained to you, like inside of you there's a Buddha nature that is good side of you. And it's the driving force behind your life. In your life, it's driving force for your life is actually goodness, believe it or not. Okay? You don't know it yet, but eventually as you cultivate, you get closer and closer to the Buddha, then your Buddha nature will manifest and shine brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Okay? So what prevents that from happening is that the evil side of you, okay, could be internal, could be a ghost there, a demon there, your past husband who's now become a demon king, okay, and he whispers in your ear. She says, "It's okay, it's okay." You can ignore. You can ignore it. It's okay to do evil. And that's why these people have no shame, and they can commit evil after evil. They can lie after lie after lie, and they have no shame whatsoever. Because every time we lie, we know it's wrong. Okay? And we keep on doing it only because we can fool ourselves and ignore the internal conflict. And you do it often enough, you become all evil. Yes, Simon.
So, Master, what you just say is when you clearly know. So, what will happen to like the kid who were just up there, or other people who don't know that it's wrong and they just did it and create a bunch of offense? What would happen in that case? I mean,
he's gonna go to the hells.
Even they didn't know about it. Okay.
It's a hell for the people who don't know about it. It's a hell for the people who know about it. What do you want from me? Okay, DTT.
마스터 지금 주제에서 좀 더 발전된 질문이 있는데요. 네.
One question about this theme.
어떤 내용이냐면 지금 이렇게 무참무게하고 자기 객관화가 안 되는 사람들을 마스터께서 위험한 사람들이라고 지칭하셨어요. 네.
Master said it's very dangerous if they have no shame and no remorse.
네, 예전에 법문에서 마스터께서 어떤 표현을 하셨냐면 이런 종류의 사람들을 포용하지만 믿진 않는다. 그러니까 믿진 않지만 이런 사람들을 포용하신다고 하셨는데 믿지 않는데 어떻게 포용할 수 있는지 그게 어떻게 저희가 실질적으로 저희가 몸담고 있는 사찰이나 이런 커뮤니티에서 이런 종류의 사람들을 피할 수가 없는데 이런 사람들을 어떻게 실질적으로 대하는 건지를 제가 질문드립니다.
So before Master said, we do not believe such people, but we embrace them. So how can we embrace them if we don't believe them? How can we deal with such a people?
You can't. When you see a demon, what do? You run. When I see a demon, I run. I don't want to hang around demon. Because I know demons are evil. Their nature is to harm. That's all they do. All they do is to harm others. And therefore, that's the last thing I want to do is hang around a demon. Either I kill a demon or I run away.
맞서 저도 그런 사람들한테는 안전거리가 필요하다고 생각하고 저도 그렇게 살아왔는데 마서께서 믿지 않지만 포용한다라고 분명히 말씀하셨어요. 그래서 제가 도대체 이게 어떤 경지인지를 제가 질문하는 거예요.
Master, I also need some safe distance with such people. But Master said we do not believe them, but we should embrace them. So I'm wondering what kind of thing it is.
What kind of thing? Well, I'm slightly different from you. Sometimes I'm lazy. I can't run away, so I beat them up so that they run away from me. Because they know that when they come close to me, I will beat them up. Why do I beat them up? Because they can't harm me, but they harm the people around me. And that's the problem with evil. Evil natures will harm others. You go near evil nature, you get harmed. That's it. Okay? This is so fundamental. It's not about. You can make no excuses. It's yin and yang. There's evil and there's good. Okay? It's no excuse. So that's why the most dangerous to our cultivation is to nurture the evil side of us. And the evil side of us manifests itself as no shame. You clearly know it's wrong, but it looks the other way. And that's why these beings, these people, are extremely destructive. Because all they know is themselves. They don't care about anything else. Not their wives, not their children, not their mother, not their father, no, not Buddha, not God. They don't care. Because they have no shame. And such behavior manifests itself outward because their behavior shows they have no shame whatsoever. They're shameless. That's why these individuals are destructive to society. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. We have some comments and then also a question. Spookwaters says, no shame equals pride to reduce inner conflict. And then the quote, go with it now. Spookwaters says, it happens all the time and is very dangerous. Then we have Nacho, who says, Emitofuo, Master, sometimes I feel shame before helping another person because I think maybe they will feel bad if I help them. But I try to ignore the shame because the goal is to do good. Is that still repressing? Excuse me.
No shame means that you're doing something wrong. You clearly know it's wrong. You still do it. Because the only way for you to do it is because you have no shame. Okay? You suppress your shame. The Buddha nature knows it's wrong, but you suppress it intentionally. Inside, no one else knows. You know. That's all that matters. Okay? Whether people, whatever others say about you or not, is irrelevant. No shame is internal. I only interpreted for you why these people are extremely, extremely dangerous to everyone else. Okay, number 2, remorse. Remorse is that when you have internal shame, okay, then it manifests itself outwardly. When you have shame, then it can be observed externally in terms of your behavior. Because the Buddha nature says, I feel ashamed of this. And what does it do? It repents. It admits. It makes a confession. Because it's natural for it to release the internal pressure. When you feel ashamed, outwardly, you have a behavior to release the inner pressure. That's why, number 1, if you have no shame, it's hopeless. Okay? You have, if you have shame, naturally, it will manifest itself as a form of behavior, remorseful behavior. It's inner and outer. And they come hand in hand. Okay? When we cultivate, we look outside, we look inside, we look inside and say, if it's wrong, we know it's wrong, then naturally, what do? We repent. Yeah? We make a confession. We changes. So that's remorse right there because it manifests itself in a form of behavior. It's inside, remorse is outside. Can be observed. Is that clear? There's always inside and outside. Yes, go first.
Dạ thưa thầy, con muốn hỏi theo câu hỏi của chị Hạnh đó là bản thân con á là bởi vì mình muốn mình là the best, mình muốn mình là number one, cho nên là cái action, cái động cơ của cái tâm con là muốn là the best, thì nó dẫn tới những cái hành động mà thể hiện ra bên ngoài á, là mình là hành động tốt, mình biết nhận lỗi, mình biết sám hối, nhưng mà thực tâm á, nó lại là muốn chà đạp người khác để mà mình là vị trí số 1. Thì cái hành động ra ngoài lúc nào nó cũng là tốt đẹp hết. Thì cho nên là cái tâm con nó không có biết được là mình đang làm việc ác, nhưng mà thực sự là cái dẫn tới cái hành động đó của con là bởi vì con luôn muốn mình là trung tâm, không phải là chỉ là muốn attention của mọi người, nhưng mà mình muốn là mình là số 1. Thì cái đó thì làm sao thầy?
You have to know inside. You have to know it's wrong. Like the example of the boy there. He basically ruined my mouse. And you cannot say he has no shame because he doesn't know. He's just stupid. Stupid boy. You're proud of yourself. Look at how happy he looks, making me afflicted. Okay? The shame here refers to the fact you clearly know it's wrong. You didn't know, then it's not related to shame. It's called stupidity. Shame is predicated upon you clearly knowing it's wrong, and yet you still do evil, and that's because the only way you're able to do that is for your evil side to suppress your Buddha side.
Cảm ơn thầy.
Okay, so you're still okay, but if it's about you, it's not about you convincing me that you did all those things because you didn't know. It's not about whether I believe it or not. It's about you who know inside. Thank you. Now I have a dinosaur in my Clearly, do you feel ashamed? No, it doesn't, is it? You got that? So the point here is that it's internal. You know, that's all. No one else has to know. And it turns out for the people who have no shame, they disguise their inner conflict. They ignore it and they drink and they do stupid things to ignore it, okay? But eventually it manifests itself as no remorse. You see, if your internal conflict grows bigger and bigger, then it will manifest itself eventually outside. Okay? No shame eventually manifests as no remorse. But if you have shame, eventually will manifest itself as to have remorse. That's why they come in pairs. It's driven internally, but eventually will manifest. It can be observed. Yes, one.
Master, I'll give an example of the shame. Like as a teenager, I used to steal whatever I stole, and then that's believe it or not, yeah. So the inner voice inside says that you know what's wrong. You do it anyway. I got away with it, whatever.
Yeah, as long as you can get away with it, why not?
And then it's worse when you get caught and then you lie about it or whatever.
You're a Republican, right?
I was registered to be one, so.
Yeah, see, he's a Republican.
So I'm just giving an example of the shame.
Yeah.
And
shame on you.
Yeah. So, but then the voice or the Buddha nature says it's wrong, and then you do it.
Yeah, we all have this inner voice that says, "No, this is wrong." We know that. We know it's wrong. It's so fast. This is wrong. We know it. And we have to suppress it in order for us to be able to carry it out. Okay? So that's what cultivation is about. We teach you to pay attention to the inner forces that actually are stirring us into harming ourselves. Okay? Anyone else? Go ahead, go for us. Go ahead and confess. Show your remorse. Go for us is basically Republican.
90%, Master.
90%. Yeah. It's orange country. It's just a Vietnam thing. Go ahead.
I still have the similar question, but it's still not clear in my head.
You have no shame for so long.
I do have a lot of shame, but usually based on my observation, more than 90%. When you have some motive, like not pure, but when it's manifested into action, the actions are always good action. Like we always have like excuse of doing something good, but the motive behind is always the opposite. So it's challenging for normal people to recognize that they should be ashamed based on the action. So it's more, to me, it's more about, are you ashamed of yourself rather than are you ashamed of the action that you do? Because most of the time, the action are good action. Like you keep telling yourself, hey, I'm doing good thing for this, but the motive behind is always something else.
Then you have no shame. You are guilty of number one.
That's why what I
doesn't matter if your action turns out to be good. It's just you have no shame whatsoever, no excuses.
I do, but it's more like, are you ashamed of yourself rather than the action is what I mean. Rather than it's based on the action. Because it's tricky. So let's say
the Vietnam people are so convoluted, they shame inside.
Let me give you an example. So let's say everyone like to contribute at the temple, right? And
what, come again? I didn't quite catch it. Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, and if one thing that, if the motive behind of one person is that they like to impress and they like to feel important, not just at the temple, but at any organization, at school or at work. And also the second motive is that, I want to, beside being the best or look like the best person, I feel good when when I can look down on everyone else, right? But when it manifests into action, it's more like you sacrifice, you try your best. And it's tricky.
There's no hope for these Republicans. But it's okay. Next week I'll be up there. I save you.
I don't see myself changing into Democrat anytime soon.
The point is one thing at a time. Number one, if you know that internally, no shame is that it's internal. That's all. And number two, you have to separate that from number two, which is no remorse. Okay? As long as you have an inner conflict and you keep on doing it, then you have no shame. There's no excuse possible. You see now why the USA is declining? Huh? Half of them are like this, no shame.
Dạ thưa Thầy, nếu mà cái sự ăn năn của mình á, không phải vì mình muốn bản thân mình thay đổi mà mình muốn đạt được cái mục đích của mình thì cái ăn năn nó như
It doesn't matter. All you need is insight. It's too long. You can go 1 to 2, 2 back to 1, 1 to, and so forth. Doesn't matter. Ultimately, number one, insight, if you know it's wrong, okay, and it's harmful to others, okay, and you still are able to do that, it's only because you have no shame. That's a bottom line. Okay, you can make excuses. I'm evil, but actually I comes out helpful and other. It doesn't matter. One is internal. No shame, and you know it's wrong. And you keep on doing it. You keep on making excuses to do it. Then you have no shame, and you are dangerous. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm glad that it's coming out. That they need to be saved. Anyone else? Don't make excuses. It's not about whether I believe or not. It's about you inside. If it's not clear to you, you're going to be in trouble. And you will have to struggle with this eventually, because you can go so far eventually, okay? Eventually it will catch up with you, and you can no longer ignore it. That shame there will grow, keeps on growing and growing and growing, till one day you can no longer ignore it. That's when you have to get out. That's what happened to those losers who left. They can't hide anymore. Says 1 or 2 is very dangerous, very harmful to your health. Either 1, you have so much inner pressure, you blow up. Or number 2, you have no remorse, meaning that you run out excuses, therefore you can't pretend anymore, and you have to run away. That's 1 and 2, by the way. You don't allow, therefore, what you're learning today here, you don't allow the inner conflict to persist and grow, because it will catch up with you. Number 2, when you have inner conflict and you don't want to pretend. Okay? You can pretend, okay? And it will grow and grow and grow, eventually will blow up in your face as well, because people will see it. Go ahead, go for it. Confess.
Thank you, Master. As you mentioning in cell, and I'm also in cell.
You in cells?
And then,
Oh, okay. So no shame.
Of course, I'm trying not to lie, but of course, during a transaction, I have to lie 1 or, at least 1 or 2. Of course, not deep down, I know this is wrong, but I still have to do it because it has to come from my client. In that case, am I no shame? And what can I do, Master?
It's hopeless. Okay, the only thing for you to do is become Democrat. We Democrats have shame and remorse, I think. Except for our democratic politicians, they have no shame, no remorse. But they are the exception. It's not about getting my approval or someone else's approval. It's about you, okay? If you have no shame, okay, then you build up the internal pressure, and one day it will blow up in your face. That's what's going to happen, okay? And the good news is that it has, in some people, it would take a long time before it blows up. Could go to 2G, 5G, and it blows up, 6G, and it blows up in their faces. You see? So Don't worry about it, okay? You can have quite a ways to go. But the point of today's lesson is that eventually it will blow up in your face and you cannot blame others. It's your own fault. You've been nurturing it all this time. Okay? That's the message. It's not about Republican or Democrat, orange or black, okay? Man or woman. It's irrelevant. You build up the internal pressure. Eventually it has to blow off. That's all. Okay? Now, specifically, professionally, we all have to lie. If you don't lie, you will not survive very long professionally. Okay? So, I don't want to come across as condoning this, but I want you to know that realistically speaking, there are certain things you will not willing to lie to yourself. Like when you do a lie, it will harm others. For example, if I were to sell to my own mother, okay, a car with a cracked engine, that is bad, yeah? But if I were to tell her, hey, mommy dearest, I sell you a car here, and the tire is in perfect condition, okay? And I give you $2,000 brake, okay? But it turns out she needs to replace the 4 tires. That's $1,000 worth if you buy Michelin, okay? Tires is $1,000 and so forth. So you see, it's a lie, but it's not that consequential. I give you a $2,000 brake and I lie you about the tires. You understand? There's a compromise there. I'm not saying that it's okay to lie. I'm just saying that in the real world, there's a certain level of dignity, a certain level of integrity, where yes, we're supposed to lie. For example, we lie to women all the time. You look so beautiful today. You know it's not true inside. The San Jose people have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm worried about them. We down here, we do it all the time, right, man? Look at they're laughing. They're all laughing. Yeah, see? So there are certain lies where it's like you expected to say these things, like a protocol where customs is something. Okay. Oh, your hair is wonderful. What did you do to your hair? Oh, really? You noticed? Not. You have a glow. What happened? All those are like normal to me nowadays. Okay, but you won't have a hard time finding a woman. Sorry to be this blunt. Okay? So there are certain things where it's expected. Like sweet nothings. It's expected. Come on, man. Don't take it so seriously. But there are certain things where it's really harmful to others. That's where you draw the line. Am I helping? Yes, we have to lie, okay? And that's what we do, okay? I don't care. I don't care what others say. But when I took precepts, I struggled like hell. I'm not supposed to lie. I know I would lie, so I applied for a teaching job at a city of 10,000 Buddhas, and because I figure I go there, I wouldn't have to lie, okay? I wouldn't have to chase women and so forth. I wouldn't have to lie. It turns out it's not true. Okay? I had to lie all the time because they put so much pressure on me. It's just life. the pressure that are put upon us force us to behave a certain way. But you have to draw a line. Okay? It's very clear. When you lie, when your actions are harmful to others, that's where you draw the line. When it's like inconsequential, because she's vain, kiss up to her a little, it doesn't matter, because you expect it to. Is it okay, man? Yes, in the back.
Master, there's a lot of things that we do, like for me, like the pornography and stuff like that. There's like
back there again, yeah.
Sorry, that was the problem that I encounter. I'm just being honest. As many others, as long as it doesn't mean that we draw a line, is there a way that can counterbalance that as normal people living in this life? What shall we do in this situation?
This situation, I have no idea. Yes, 8 is helping me out.
I think you need a boyfriend, the real one. Women are so brutal. We're in the Buddha hole. I have to be straightforward.
No, it's my fault. Okay? When we learn about one, is that it's about you, where you draw the line, is my point today. Okay? And if you do it wrong, okay, then you bear the consequences a lot sooner than you think. All right? That's all I'm trying to convey to you. I'm not God. I don't tell you exactly, it's not black and white. There's no such a thing in life. Even in Buddhism, there's no such a thing as, there's a line here, you cross over and you're dead. No. I'm told you. You get to 1G, 2G, 3G, 5G, 6G, I saw it already. Okay? They have no shame. I didn't say anything to see how far they can go. I experiment all the time. This is based on empirical evidence. Because eventually, if you nurture this no shame inside of you, eventually you will blow up. Your retribution will overwhelm you. Trust me. It doesn't matter who you are. Okay? Number 2, no remorse. Okay? Again, when there's internal, there's always an external manifestation. No two ways about it. So this here tells you about what's happening inside. What's happening inside will eventually show up, will manifest itself. Okay? That's 1 and 2. And these are fundamental to our well-being, folks. Okay? If you have no shame, no remorse, boy, are you in trouble? Keep that in mind. Number 3. Time is up. We're stuck here at 1 and 2 for an hour and a half. Boy, do we have a lot of problems? And just to be fair, okay, for today's session, it took so long is because of Go Force Republicans. Stop here today. Thank you.